And geeks, deep into the nerdverse we go once again with the legendary Friday nights of the Nerd-O-Roundtable. What it is, good people. How we all doing? I see Anthony from Two Cubicles Down. How you feeling, good sir?
Oh, hello, everybody.
My man for DeGrand, Ryan Twitch Master McBain.
Like we always do about this time.
Hello.
Dr. Liz from the
I go
freeway.
for mine. Hi, everyone.
Tom is talking Cunningham.
I'm talking.
And yours truly, King Nerdificent Twala Sharp in the building. This week, we are recapping all the wonder that came out of San Diego Comic-Con because the shit kept spilling over. I mean, a week later, and we are getting some of the most magnificent news on top of some of the magnificent reveals that came out of San Diego Comic-Con, which I actually think they went above and beyond with hitting folks over the head because it was a return to in-person festivities and everyone wanted to really show their ass, and I believe that they did. We've got to start with, and I want everyone on our roundtable family to get the honest feedback, the reviews, what you felt in the moment that you first bore witness to Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Ryan, I need to know, was it everything that you thought it was going to be, good sir?
Unfortunately, it was because it hit me in the heart. It's going to be an emotional roller coaster when this movie comes out. I'm not ready for it. I know I'm going to cry in the movie theater. It's fitting that it's going to be the end of Phase 4, but it's going to be heartbreaking.
Amen to that. Dr. Liz, when you first saw this trailer, what were your first emotions?
I was I was in shambles, and then I screamed at the end. And I mean, I was so moved. I even did a video on my YouTube channel because it's like frame by frame, because there's so much to unpack in every single frame. And then I went and watched What If episode 6 and 9, and of course Black Panther, and that's been trending. I mean, Killmonger is trending today. It has just been. Did you? And I know that I shared it with you all. 172 million views in 24 hours.
I think I contributed to maybe at least 100 of those views. Anthony, what were your thoughts on the trailer?
I mean, I watched it once straight through and then just sat there dissecting it frame by frame by frame, trying to see all the little nuances. When you see Namor born, you see his little wings at his ankles. It's just the amount of detail, just watching it one shot at a time, one scene at a time. It's going to be good.
I could sure enough dig that. Tom, your thoughts, good sir?
I knew that Feige had explicitly said that T'Challa would be dead, but seeing the trailer and making it very evident that that was not a dodge, that that was the way he was interpreting it, and it was Coogler's vision to do so and all of that, really kind of hit because I still don't fundamentally agree with the choice. I think T'Challa is too important a character, and I think probably the best possible way to have done this would have been to actually do the world of Wakanda, which they have basically, sort of kind of said is going to happen. And instead of giving us Black Panther 2, give us World of Wakanda to give us some distance, and then continue with Black Panther 2 the way it was supposed to be with the T'Challa character moving forward. Now, there are ways to come back, but I will just say that the trailer is a very, very well done trailer. Angela Bassett is on fire. There's not a whole lot of dialogue. They limit the dialogue. And the one set of words that are said are pretty, astounding coming from her. And then, of course, we got the first live action sequences of Namor. and the other Atlanteans, and seek a sequence of birth in a space of death. And so there was lots of metaphor and lots of really cool stuff in it, which is why I pulled the trailer. And for those who are watching the show who have, and Ryan is ready to get hit in the feels, but I think we've been talking about it. I didn't know we'd open the show with it, but I think we probably should show it. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
No cry. No woman, no cry. Hey, little darling, don't shed no tear. No woman, no cry. Good friends we have, and good friends we've lost along the way. In this great future, you can't forget your past. So dry your tears, I say. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright now. Everything's gonna be alright.
I am queen of the most powerful nation in the world, and my entire family is gone. Have I not given everything?
And when I wake up,
Amen to that.
Chill.
Just the music, right? The music is just
That music.
everything.
It is without a doubt one of the greatest trailers put together. I mean, from the scoring of the trailer to the trailer itself. This was quite possibly, I think, maybe my 105th time watching it, going over some of the details and looking at a lot of the, theories and things like that that are out there. One theory that is out there is that this film takes place during the blip, which is why it is possible that Queen Ramona had said,
Wait,
my entire
No, that
family.
can't be.
No, Shuri's in it. She was blipped away.
No, I'm saying so when I'm talking about that line when she says that.
Okay.
We don't know at what point that happened. I'm sorry, when I say the film, I'm saying certain sequences. So when she says, I've lost my entire family, that is her addressing everyone in the beginning. Why she's taking the throne,
Okay.
but then they come back. And this is when we see all of the emotion. We see the Shuri on the beach and all this. It's kind of like Wakanda is coming back and it's readjusting to the return of so many people. And then we get into this whole thing of like how they were weakened during that time, and now we're getting into a fight where you have a lot of different kind of ruling nations eyeing Wakanda and trying to come after them, which is where the doom theory comes from, where it's kind of the war of kings, where you have Atlantis taking a shot at Wakanda because of what happened during the blip, when there was the incident in the trench that they're going to investigate or whatever.
Right.
You have
the earthquake thing.
The earthquake. You have Daniela. Oh my God, I can't remember her last name. The sister from what was it, from Chewing Gum, Liz? What is the sister?
Yeah, I know you're talking about Michaela. Something
Yeah,
like that.
so she is in this
Who is
film.
she?
She
On what
plays
side is she on?
you see her in the trailer in two different blips. She is wearing a blue Dora Milaje outfit, which
Right.
is akin to the angel, I think it's the Night Angel's armor that was worn in the comic series, where you have Io, and you have Anika, who had plotted to kind of break away from Wakanda, and because they did not like the way things were going during that certain point in time. Her character is a character who was responsible for the training of the Dora Milaje. She is like the chief trainer of them, which is why you see her in this trailer facing off against all of them. And you're like, how is this one woman facing off against?
Right.
Because she's that badass. The outfit that she's wearing enhances her and all of that. You see our first looks at Namorta. We see Atuma in this trailer. Of course, the first look at Ironheart building her actual armor. When you see her knocking out that heart,
And my theory is shifting because I think that they have left her from Chicago. I think that she's no longer attached to Chicago. I think she's attached to Oakland.
Which
Probably
would make sense.
Oakland.
Yeah, that would make sense
That's
because
where they got
of where they
the
were
outreach
establishing the.
And then that leaves
university.
out Tony Stark. So then Tony Stark has absolutely no influence, or very little influence.
I don't think they're gonna pussyfoot around like why T'Challa's not there. I think they're gonna face it head on. Obviously, this is just my personal opinion. I think they're moving past the blip. I don't think they're gonna see anything during the blip. I think they're gonna address. Look, T'Challa is gone. He died. I don't think there's gonna be any type of like flashback to the blip. Now, I could be wrong, but I think there's gonna be some hard truths in this movie that they've been avoiding. Because if you notice, throughout all the MCU, since Chadwick Boseman passed, they have not addressed him at all. They didn't even mention him in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I think now's the time that they're going to address it. They're not going to dance around it, this and that. Once again, just my personal opinion.
I agree with you. I mean, clearly we see him and we see a funeral scene, which I'm like, okay, I'm wearing white. And I know people who are getting their outfits together now.
Yeah, gotta wear that white. Yeah.
But I'm thinking also the one thing I haven't heard a lot about talking about, because everything else is trending, is the scene where we're getting the snippets back to America, because clearly it's America that they're in, and the ocean scene. So I was like, okay, now in my mind, and you all can, now this is where I'm not standing on 10 toes down. So are we going to say that, clearly they're mining, right? They're mining in the middle of the ocean, right? Is this what we're thinking? And
well,
Tom had a different theory on that.
Well, there's two things that are interesting to me about the beach scenes. One, Wakanda, wherever it has been on the African continent, it has moved around. MCU Wakanda is not exactly in the same place as comic book Wakanda, but it was always landlocked.
Yes, and I don't think that beach scene is Wakanda, because that pyramid in the background, that's not African.
No, I get it, but it appears that they are in Wakanda and overwhelmed by a lot of waves at one point. And I don't know where that water came from, because what they've been presenting is that it is landlocked. So
okay, now the water, because in Black Panther in the end, you do see that water is running through much of the city.
No, they have a river.
Right.
They do have because the falls, there was the falls. There was a big river that led to the falls in the first movie. But Coogler's playing games, and this is why the idea that T'Challa put forth that maybe that speech was during the blip is that we haven't, I think with the exception of Far From Home, we haven't really had a movie that dealt with the fallout of the blip.
Movie or show? Because Captain America and the
No,
Winter
I'm talking about a movie.
Soldier-
No. I'm talking about a movie specifically. To T'Challa's point. We had Spider-Man, and they had the little thing at the very beginning where it was the school announcements, and they talked about the blip, and that's how it became the blip in the MCU. But if there's any time because I think what we're going to find out is the reason that nobody has talked about T'Challa's passing is that it happens near the start of this movie. It isn't something that happened when Boseman died in 2020. In the MCU continuity, it has only happened recently, and I think we're going to find out what the result was, how the thing, because the funeral clearly takes place post Blip because Shuri's in the funeral, so that's the real death. Whatever Queen Ramonda's comments are, that could be the Blip.
It would have to take place post Blip because he's in Endgame fighting.
Right.
No, but I'm saying her comment, because like when you look at them in the UN scene or whatever it is, the UN room seems pretty empty to me.
Oh.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like a real UN. Like in the first one where Chadwick addresses them at the end, it's the full UN. It's a big ass room, and it's chock full. In this room, it looks reminiscent of the UN. It looks like they're out in public because her emissaries push their mics down when she's speaking. So it's not Wakanda.
Isn't she addressing the fact that she's lost her family, not to the UN, but to the
well, no.
Council?
I'm not.
Not part of that.
There's a scene where we see her in the throne room. She's wearing a different outfit. There's another scene where she says, "Haven't I lost everything?" That could be right before they go to the UN.
That could also be the same group of people that is in Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
And let's not forget that Marvel isn't against like showing things in
in a trailer that are bullshit.
That don't happen in the movie. So,
exactly.
But I do think that the water comes through. I mean, I think clearly that's the attack, right? And they come through the water. So clearly we have that. But
well, there was in the at least in comic book lore, the Namor in one of their battles. It was actually when Namor had received the Phoenix Force, and the Phoenix Force was in a whole bunch of people, and Namor had used that to attack Atlanta, and he tried to sink. I mean, attack Wakanda, and he tried to sink. Atlanta. He tried to sink Wakanda, and flood it. All to be damned. And that's when they really took issue with Storm for not, like, fuck Storm, you're not gonna help us out here. You've also got the Phoenix Force power. That caused the whole that's what ultimately caused the whole split with them.
I'm asking the question about the mining in the middle of the, and it seems I'm assuming that that's mining, and then you have those are American troops and the way that they're treating those Africans
or Latvian.
Yes,
because that's the thing. The supposition right now is that the thing that triggers Namor, and they're not calling it Atlantis, by the way.
I was going to address that. So
it's not Atlantis. No, it's Mayan mer people, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
My
so
people.
It's
My
kind
men.
of weird though, but because I mean they're addressing them as everybody knows it as Atlantean, but for the sake of this,
they're
not being
going
confused
with that's
DC,
what happened to the Mayan civilization. That the Mayan civilization sunk. And that this is what happened to the people.
And to that point, Plato may call it Atlantis, but they call it whatever they'd call it in their native language.
That's fair.
We haven't seen enough, and that certainly seems to be one of the themes that Coogler is putting forth. That the presence of these people is the self-determination. So it was self-determination for Wakanda. Now it's self-determination for the Namor people. So, they're not casting it. They've put this entire race off the coast of Mexico instead. And so they're going to call it whatever the fuck they want to call it. And then if Plato wants to call it Atlantis, then Plato can call it Atlantis all he wants. But that doesn't mean it's not whatever. I don't recall the name now. But the supposition is that Doom has engaged the group that is doing the underwater explorations specifically to get Namor's people to attack Wakanda so that he can snake vibranium from Wakanda.
Mm-hmm.
That's the plot supposition at this point right now. So all of that I'm fine with. And there is this whole thing in the comic books of Realm of the Dead, and so whatever it is, I mean, in the first movie, he was dead for weeks at least,
Right.
until he came back. You know, there is the issue of the heart-shaped herb, which Killmonger is alleged to have destroyed all of. I think that was a very bold choice by Coogler, because that's certainly potentially shutting a lot of doors. But
you could still regrow it though, couldn't you?
Well, I mean, Killmonger didn't seem to think so.
Yeah, but she did.
I mean, they snuck that one plant.
Yeah,
well,
but I still think that maybe she would have probably done something else.
Well, I'm just saying
we had this conversation before. The seeds and the plants cannot be in the same spot.
Yeah, no, I think it's perfectly fine. And if we presume that at some point it is going to be Shuri who gets the powers, then, you know, certainly there must have been something left. And so that's fine. My question about the timeline as it pertains to Killmonger is that it's been at least, if not more, 5 years of Killmonger being presumably dead. He wouldn't have been dusted if he were dead. And so now it's 5 years later. How is this dead person coming back to life?
Got an answer for you. Nope, got an answer for you. The exact same way that, remember when Cap dropped Bucky off to get fixed? What was the first thing that they did? They put him on ice.
But that's because Cap wanted him to, and what's his name? Winter Soldier wanted to be put on ice until he could be controlled. Eric Killmonger said, "Don't do that to me."
Yes,
and throw me in the ocean, and then he pulled the dagger out of his heart.
Say that,
right?
But I believe that T'Challa's guilt or T'Challa's feelings about the whole situation could have been like, "I hear you, bruh, and I'm holding you in my arms, but nah, fuck that. I'm gonna put your ass on ice anyway." Because
how long can you survive?
He felt the guilt of that.
All I know is that
I honestly, I still feel this way. This is the reason why I still have feelings for Killmonger. Is because
break it down, Liz. Break down your feelings.
Go ahead.
Number one, I don't think that Marvel realized how much Black folks would identify with Killmonger. I think that they really would have. I really believe that they thought that he was positioned in a way enough in the film to where people would overly be like, he is the villain, and we don't like him. I don't think that people realize, I don't think that they realized post until you had reaction. Granted, we love T'Challa. Everyone went around with Chadwick Boseman doing Wakanda Forever. I'm not going to say that he was more beloved, but I'm saying that he was not as villainized. And I know that Mo disagrees with me because but I don't believe that he was as villainized as as Marvel anticipated him to be. That's number one. Number two, they did not estimate, and no one did, that Chadwick Boseman would be dead. And to have two people who were at the top, just in so many great things all over everywhere, they did not anticipate that when you cut Michael B. Jordan out, you also eventually didn't know that Chadwick Boseman was gone. And to have two of the hotter people at the moment just done from the franchise, I think was a hard pill to swallow. And three, Killmonger is still bopping his head around. If they really didn't think about getting rid of him, he's bopping his head around because he's in What If. And four, Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan's been in all of Ryan Coogler's projects. My last is that Chadwick Boseman and Michael B. Jordan have been friends forever. And I just feel that this would be a moment in order, as we see that this is going to be a great send-off for Chadwick Boseman, that Michael B. Jordan would want to have participated in some kind of way.
I feel if Killmonger comes
Those are
back,
all valid points.
it's not going to be this Killmonger. Maybe something from the multiverse, but you can't have this Killmonger, someone who was so disrespectful to women in Black Panther, poisoning the woman at the museum,
Well,
having,
in a film that
shooting
has a
his
strong
girlfriend.
female lead. Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Shooting his girlfriend, choking the black woman because she wouldn't burn down the sacred herbs. Like he was a bad dude. I can see Killmonger coming back, but not the Killmonger from this universe. He literally pulled the dagger out of his heart and died on the set. It's not going to be this version of him if he comes back.
But-
And if you bring back a different version of Killmonger, you might as well bring back a different version of T'Challa. It really
you.
doesn't make any sense
Exactly.
that Killmonger, no matter what how the audience embraced him, Killmonger was the ultimate villain of Black Panther and represented the antithesis of the vision of what T'Challa, as Chadwick Boseman, ultimately embraced. He didn't embrace what he took from Killmonger is that there's more we could be doing with the world. That's what he took. He literally made sure that none of Killmonger's plans of conquest came to fruition. Literally. And when it came down to it, and he had to make the choice to restrain or strike a blow, a fatal blow, he struck the fatal blow because he's a warrior. And Killmonger had fought him and threw him over the goddamn cliff. And so the idea that all of a sudden 5 years in suspended animation or whatever, what if showed us is that in every eventuality, Killmonger is a devious, evil person. That's what if showed us. It didn't show us a redemption path. It showed us an alternate universe of T'Challa. Remember, T'Challa was in 2 episodes living a different life path, and he was still T'Challa regardless. Killmonger was still Killmonger regardless. No redemption, no hero, still psychopath.
And how would you get a Killmonger from another universe without bringing in somebody from a Doctor Strange movie? You can get
I just don't see how it's possible.
That would be too much. Look, they're not.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. And so I don't think they're going to deal. There's no way to deal with T'Challa's return in this movie unless you try to do it as a nod to the realm of the dead. And if you did it as a nod to the realm of the dead and you show like some earth shaking or something like this is where he was buried, implying that maybe T'Challa could come back, you could do that. That's as most as I could imagine seeing, and the way they're playing it now, I don't even see that as a possibility. So I don't.
Well, the one thing about Wakanda Forever is that it is the end of phase
4, right?
And the point of phase 4, as Feige, he was in the interview this week, and he said the point of phase 4, he said beyond the messaging and all the stuff we talked about in all these films, Feige broke it down as phase 4. This is something that comic book collectors will understand. Phase 4 is a series of one-shots, an opportunity for them to, in between their big story arcs. Remember, the first story arc, 15 years worth of films, and before you get to the end, they're like, look, we needed to take a moment to ground ourselves, to establish some new characters that we want to introduce you to, that we're going to use in future projects. But there is no singular connectivity between all these stories. All these films, I just saw Thor Love and Thunder today. It's a one shot. Black Widow was a one shot. Eternals is a one shot. All of these films are one shot stories. They introduce you to new concepts, new ideas, new characters that you will see spill over into phase 5. But being that this is the end of phase 4, Wakanda Forever is a kind of a sending off, a repass, if you will, for Chadwick Boseman for Black Panther. Yes, we know that they are doing a Wakanda Forever series. We know that, there will be more Wakanda in the future, just like we know there's going to be, more Captain America in the future, more Loki in the future of the MCU. But none of these series, if you're looking even at the end of Thor: Love and Thunder. It just says Thor will return. None of the things that we've seen in Phase 4 say will return in a specific thing, except for Miss Marvel. That is the only thing we've seen in Phase 4 that says this character will be back in a project from one of our future phases. The beginning of Phase 5, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, is building up to be like a superstar, setting it off for Phase 5, which takes us into some of the most dynamic stories that we have seen from the MCU. I mean, Quantumania, then you go into Invasion, followed by Guardians of the Galaxy 3. You've got Echo. Then it goes into Loki season 2, The Marvels, Ironheart, Blade, Agatha, Coven of Chaos, Daredevil, Born Again, and then Captain America, New World Order, ending with the Thunderbolts for Phase 5. Even Phase 5, even though all of that is supposed to start building back up to the connective tissues, all of those series, the first, if you want to call it Avengers level film, it starts off with a big one and it ends with the big one with the Thunderbolts, the anti-Avengers, if you will. But even that doesn't build up to another Avengers epic film until Phase 6 with Avengers Kang Dynasty and Avengers Secret Wars. And that phase kicks off with Fantastic Four. They're building up to some incredible shit, and we still haven't seen what's about to happen by way of the D23 convention, which is where Ryan hit us with a rumor that they're going to be dropping a Storm series, which I almost lost my mind at the idea
Hopefully
of that.
that's true. Yeah.
Pray that that's true. There's so much that's still coming.
Heroes for Hire. Don't forget Heroes for Hire.
Hero for Hire. Ryan, I swear to God, if your boy Finn Jones is casting in Heroes for Hire, I swear he needs to come on this show, and it just needs to be a Ryan and Finn Jones episode where he needs to say, Ryan, dude, you single-handedly, your campaign to bring me back is the reason I am here. Like, thank everyone, but most important, even if he gets an Emmy, he needs to say, I want to thank my management. I want to thank God. Ryan, I gotta thank you, good sir. Man, dude, Ryan, my man. Like, seriously,
he's going to get an industrial sized tube of preparation H for when I shove that iron fist up his ass. There's no way Finn Jones is coming back. He does not deserve to come back. It's not sure. Nothing is, never say never. All I will say is that when Feige said that this set of phases, just like we had the Infinity Saga was phases 1 through 3, he's saying this is the multiverse saga. And so to me, when you say this is the multiverse saga, what you're saying is that anything involving the multiverse, up to and including pulling characters from other universes, is possible. They've already said that Scarlet Witch is coming back. And not only in What If, there has been teased footage of Scarlet Witch in What If. And of course, What If was our real launching point of seeing fully realized alternate universe stories that we still haven't even seen that in an MCU film. We've seen snatches and pieces, but we've never seen a fully realized story in a What If space. And the thing to me that is interesting about the possibility of the multiverse is, just like we spent a fair piece of time on Earth 838 in the third act of Multiverse of Madness, who's to say we couldn't have a story set in 929 where everybody knows who the X-Men are, or that Universe 929 is the Foxverse. And so you kick off your X-Men film in another thing, and by the time we get to Kang Dynasty, or by the time we get to whatever, the incursions is what brings these characters and these different things together. I mean, the interesting thing about Fantastic Four is that their origin is really simple. It's just, okay, some guys flew into space, they came back with powers. So Feige has already said that he doesn't want to do an origin story. People already know who these characters are. There's been three technically, Fantastic Four movies, and so we don't need that. He wants to keep it more in the mode of Spider-Man Homecoming, where the characters here, deal with it. Now the trick is obviously that you've had what 12, 13 years of 2018 to 14 years of movies, and by the time we get to Fantastic Four, 15 or 16 years of movies, and this New York super team has never been apparent. So that's something to figure out. but
again, if he wants to play them as like reluctant, like, nah, dude, we were trying to hide. You know, we got
that shit didn't work for Eternals. Don't nobody want to hear that bullshit.
No. I'm saying like they're not a super team. You know, yes, they've got the thing on the team, but if they want to play them as like, no, they're fucking scientists, and that's what the rumor mill has us introduced to them. In Quantumania. You know, it's possible you can't have yet another hidden super team. They've got to just be 4 cats who were powered, and what the fuck were y'all doing? Like,
or they got their powers recently.
Okay.
They could have gotten their powers during the blip. I mean, there's things that could have happened, and maybe they're uncertain or whatever, or maybe they got exposed and Reed had to figure out how to keep them alive from the cosmic radiation. There's things you could do. The blip is a nice big hole into which you can throw all of your off-screen madness that you want
between the blip and the multiverse.
Right.
It's the playground. It's like
it's the Bliptiverse.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Apologies for not introducing you sooner. Mo Kelly is in the building. What's up, good sir? How you feeling?
I got to hear very quickly, Tuwala, whether you loved or hated Thor.
Oh, Jesus
I
Christ.
forgot. Yeah, I did mention that earlier, that I did see Thor: Love and Thunder. I did not hate it the way that you and Ryan just absolutely would rather slit your wrist than watching it. I didn't hate it. I mean, as far as my listing of Marvel films, no womp womp. I mean, to me, this film, it wasn't the best film. It was far from like the best, stellar. I mean, to me, Thor was Thor. All the characters I thought were really good. I think that the story itself was whack. I don't think that they understood the story. I don't think they understood the assignment. It was a romantic comedy. It wasn't it wasn't an action story. You said what?
The teddy bear, teddy rabbit, whatever it was, the stuffed animal didn't bother you?
The stuffed animal blasting people in the end. To me, anytime you involve kids like that, I don't like kids in any action story. But and at that point, him empowering all the kids, even though he said temporarily, with power to do something that the trained Asgardians who've been fighting forever wasn't able to do. I thought this story is jumping the shark here. But there was no point of Thor: Love and Thunder didn't have to happen, just like Captain Marvel didn't necessarily have to happen. The story, it's almost pointless. It's like it didn't lead to something.
I want to add on to that point, Tuwala. You saying about him empowering the kids.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention this when I was talking about how horrible this movie is. So when he did that, when Thor empowered the kids, I was thinking to myself, interesting. That could have been really useful during fucking Endgame.
Yeah, possibly. Maybe he fucking didn't feel like doing it. Look, again, like I said, like there were a lot.
Or maybe he could share it with them because they were Asgardians and their physiognomy was capable of withstanding his magical energies.
All the kids were.
Okay.
They made a point saying that they weren't.
Them 2 little alien kids. Fuck them kids.
Look, Tom, by the time they got into
they were
that
probably
point in the
half
story,
Asgardian cousins.
They didn't care when they got to that point in the story. To me, this film is like a silly summer fun movie. It's a popcorn movie. You can't take it serious. This film wasn't serious. It didn't take itself seriously. And it's just another Thor film. I mean, for me, I think from my least favorite, it's probably 5th or 6th from the bottom. I mean, my least favorite is Captain Marvel. I think followed by Shang-Chi, Incredible Hulk.
What about Dark
Eternals,
World?
and then
Thor 2 is pretty bad.
No. Actually, no. I actually, and I keep telling y'all when I don't know if you've ever taken the time, but the director's
I like
cut
that too.
of Dark World is actually really fucking good, man. They take a lot of time to actually explain the story, and when you see the full story, you go, "Why the fuck didn't you release that? That should have been what you put out. You didn't need to release that to Disney Plus."
I
Same
think the
same
worst
with
is
Iron
still
Man 3. Like the shit,
Iron
you know,
Man
the
3 is
director's
still
cut were
bad.
good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I you know, it definitely wasn't my favorite, but there's so much
I
else.
can't watch Iron Man 3 again.
It's the Trevor reveal for me, which ruins Iron Man 3. But the
Mhm.
but the movie of Aldrich Killian and what he was doing, I was fine with that. I just
But
didn't
you know,
like
Mo, you got to watch the director's cut of Iron Man 3. The reveal of Trevor and the way that played out in the original, or in the, you know, called the director's cut, it didn't play out the same way.
Okay.
When you see the full story, it's like, wow,
Too
this
little, too
actually
late.
makes a lot more sense.
Well, Tony
You see
said-
the manipulation behind the scenes a lot clearer, and the whole way it plays out is like, wow, like shit is a lot better.
They messed up. They messed up, man. Trevor, that whole Mandarin thing so much. They had to make a 15 minutes short to fix their bullshit.
Yeah, they did.
That's all I
And they
need to
joke
know.
about it in
Yeah.
Shang-Chi.
But wait, because Anthony has a hard out in 3 minutes. What would you say was the most exciting thing that you saw after Wakanda Forever? What is the thing that has you most excited about the reveals of San Diego Comic-Con?
Me?
Yes.
The 2 Avengers films 6 months apart.
Yeah, that's insane.
That is awesome, and that is gonna blow up theaters.
Oh yeah.
But hold on, but they have to do it just right. They have to thread that needle.
Right.
Because you can't have a lackluster Avengers film either followed by or preceded by another Avengers film.
And Kang is first.
Kang is first.
Kang is first, and then Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Yes.
So do we think that Kang is going to be an Infinity War where Kang ends on a huge thing that dovetails into Secret Wars?
it would have to make sense that way, because what's the point of putting them so close in proximity?
Right.
Unless there's a direct continuation of the storyline.
And we didn't even get Infinity War and Endgame that close together. They were a full year apart.
It was a full year.
And plus, it's called the Kang Dynasty, which to me indicates that he has manipulated a timeline where he is the ultimate ruler and the Avengers have been depowered or broken up or whatever. And there's some shit that they got to fix, which happens in Secret War.
Well,
and remember that year also that year also has the Infinity Saga in it. So you got the Infinity Saga.
Wait, who?
Avengers King, the Infinity Saga. That's an actual film. The Infinity Saga is a film.
I thought when I looked at it later,
that was the multiverse saga.
That the multiverse saga was the branding.
The multiverse saga.
I thought that at first
it
too,
looked
but
like
I
that was
think
an
it's the
actual film.
brand. But I don't think it is. I think that's the branding of these of phases 5 and 6 now, because they had another graphic that said the Infinity Saga that was the same font and everything else. So I don't think the multiverse saga is an actual
That's not an actual
standalone film.
Okay.
I think that's the branding. And so I think what we're going to see is there is a Council of Kangs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when it was just He Who Remains, he talked about all of his variants and that some of my variants are worse and you should see some of my variants. So I think Kang Dynasty is going to touch on a ton of Kangs. So Jonathan Majors, unlike Benedict Cumberbatch, isn't going to be playing just Ponytail Strange and Third Eye Strange. I think we're going to see a whole lot of Kangs. We might even see an Alligator Kang for the people who liked Alligator Loki. We go see a shit ton of Kangs.
Maybe Crocodile King.
Right. And so, yeah, keep it alliterative. And so I think that what we're going to see is this big culminating thing. And I think incursions are going to be their way into Secret War. Because the second Secret War was incursions, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't Battle World with the Beyonder.
Right.
And I haven't even read the second Secret War. So, but they name dropped incursions in Multiverse of Madness. Reed Richards dropped it. And so it seems pretty certain that their culminating thing is going to be this. And by the resolution of that, since we didn't see an X-Men film in any of the things that were lined out, that X-Men are probably going to have to hop over, or at least enough. We're going to see the new cast, because that's when the new cast, or a new cast, can be put into film. Although, why these little actors think they're going to hold on to these parts? What you think you're doing? Except screwing yourself with Disney.
Stop it.
I
Let
will
it
say
go.
this. I will say
Release.
this: having two Avengers movies so close together, I feel bad for the special effects people because Disney's gonna rust their ass. They're gonna be on that ass. And
True.
Do they get paid well? Do they get paid well?
Apparently
They don't get paid. They don't get paid well enough not to complain on the interwebs,
They-
because
they-
they talking cash shit about
Talking
Disney
mad
right
shit.
now.
Yeah, they
They're
are.
meeting in public.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's messy. And the thing, the other thing that's interesting to me about this back-to-back stuff, you're going to have some people damn near moving into a fucking theater, because people going to be watching Kang Dynasty, and then it's going to be, they're going to try to keep Kang Dynasty into some theaters long enough for you to do this Kang Dynasty
they'll
into
just do a
Secret
re-release.
Wars.
They can
Yeah,
do a
or
straight
re-release, whatever.
yeah.
I mean, I'm stunned at how fast they're getting these movies on streaming these days. Multiverse of Madness was on streaming within a
45
month.
days.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Okay.
crazy.
I mean, freaking Lightyear comes out, I think, in 2 weeks. I'm
Yeah.
like, fucking Lightyear is still in theaters, in some theaters.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
Multiverse of Madness is still in theaters.
Yeah.
That is true. That is true. I mean, there's a lot to look forward to, and again, when watching all of the interviews that Feige did after his presentation at Comic-Con, and everyone was asking like, so what about this? What about this? What about this? He kept saying we had to save some stuff for D23, which tells us that there is about to be, if he was willing to give all this up at Comic-Con, knowing that D23 is later in the year, you can't lay out everything. There's got to be some shit happening at D23 that we will lose our minds. That's like, fuck, I never in a million years thought it. Ryan, you may see Finn Jones come out on fucking stage.
Dude, he's gonna come on stage.
I'm gonna say this.
I'm gonna be insufferable.
Do you guys remember? Y'all had him on the show. When they did when Marvel did a tour for the
ice skating? The ice skating tour?
Well, no, they didn't ice skate, but they did do something similar. Like they did an action series, and then they gave out the comic books. Yeah, you thought it was ice skating, but they weren't ice skating. They did.
Take your daughter to that Marvel Live show that we did.
Oh, the Marvel Live. Yeah. We had the dude who played Hawkeye on.
Yeah, and Marvel Live, they did, and I thought it was strange that they would put Iron Fist in it. But
oh hell, here we go.
They did put Iron Fist.
Yeah, they did.
And I was like,
Yeah, Iron Fist wasn't in Marvel Live. That is true. That was before McBain started championing for him like this. I'm telling you, look, I would not be shocked. They drop Heroes for Hire and they both walk out. Look, Brian, you don't know how many fucking props you get, dude.
Yo,
seriously.
Tom, I'm telling you now, if that happens, turn your fucking phone off.
Oh no, I know. No, I'm gonna put you on hard block. You're gonna go from Ryan McBain back to Ryan Ugly Sweater, and I'm just never going to listen.
Oh God,
he was as much as I disliked the girl, the Kristen Ritter, as Jessica Jones.
Really, you don't like her?
I don't.
I don't like Kristen Ritter.
Okay.
I thought she had the best villain of
Purple Man,
of the Netflix verse.
Yes.
I think second best because Kingpin is the best.
Oh yes.
Well, Kingpin's alive, so that does count for something, and he's coming back. So sure, okay.
And he is. He still exists.
Yeah, no, Kingpin is there. But I just didn't care for her. And
I really liked her.
No, she's annoying. I just didn't care for her. But even her, I liked better than Finn Jones. Because Finn Jones is useless. You said it, Ryan. Make Colleen Wing Iron Fist. I'm good with that. Give the Iron Fist to Shang-Chi. Do what you want.
That's a lot for him to.
But he'd be super OP.
Okay,
that would be dope. If can you imagine Sean King with the damn Iron Fist and them rings?
Sean King.
I said Sean King.
Sean King.
Sean King. Talcum X.
The reason why Heroes for Hire works so well, because Luke Cage and Iron Fist are two totally different people, black and white. One's rich, rich as hell. One's from the fucking hood. It just two opposites. That's why it works so well.
Well, but this Cage isn't really
from idea for a D+ series. It's a great,
right. No,
great
it's super. It's an awesome idea. And you know what would also be great? Can we have a real Defenders now? Now that we have Doctor Strange, and we have Valkyrie, can I get some of these B-listers to give me a little bit? I'd take Wong. I would take Wong in the Defenders instead of Doctor Strange.
Hey, you already know Wong's gonna be there.
You already know.
Wong right here in the kitchen right now.
Right, Wong is the glue of Phase 4.
Wong everywhere.
He is.
From Falcon and the Winter Soldier to Shang-Chi to everything.
His agent is fantastic. And will we not see Wong coming up in
She-Hulk? Yes.
Oh yeah.
She-Hulk. He's in She-Hulk too.
And Daredevil.
But he's in She-Hulk. I mean, it makes sense that he's in She-Hulk because Abomination is in She-Hulk, and that was his little sparring partner in Shang-Chi. So if you give me Tessa Thompson, who is on Earth, albeit as King of the Asgards, and you give me Wong instead of Doctor Strange, so you have a mystical person. I would even take Daredevil, and even though he's not really in the Defenders like that. And I would take Luke Cage, even though Luke Cage isn't in the Defenders like that. And I would take an Iron Fist because we don't have a Gargoyle, and I doubt that we're going to get a Gargoyle. So, but if you gave me Valkyrie and you gave me a magic person in the space of Wong, that's a Defenders I could get into.
Yeah.
I could get into those Defenders, especially if you didn't invent some bullshit of a giant dragon causing earthquakes is the fucking thing they were fighting against. I still don't know what the fuck that was supposed to be.
And you know what? I'm actually kind of hoping that they could possibly do now, since they are introducing Namorta, is Agents of Atlas, because you've got
okay, but it's Namora. It's Namora. It's not Namorita.
Yeah,
but it's the blue cousin.
No, it's still Namor. She's Namor in this, and that's what it is. So if you have her and you have a homeboy who was in Vision and the Scarlet Witch, what the fuck is it? WandaVision. If you have those two already, you have two dope members from Agents of Atlas.
Comes up with names.
So
that was my fucking mind, man. My memory is so jacked up. I know we're running long on time, but I wanted to get Mo, if you can, to give us a spoiler-free review of Prey, my brother. I know you saw it. You were blessed with the ability to see it before all of us.
Yes.
What were your thoughts, man?
It is the best Predator universe movie since the original. That's the short.
Ooh,
snap!
Serious Predator movie. There are a couple one-liners, but it's in the spirit of the moment. They're not trying to go for over-the-top laughs. They're funny things which happen, and they're ironic statements, but it's not like, punchline. No, it's
kind of like the first Predator. Yeah,
it's very tense. There's a little bit of a long setup in the first 20-25 minutes, but it's necessary. Once you get past that, it is action, and it's very tense. And unfortunately, and I say this, and when we talked to Dan Trachtenberg, the director, this weekend on the Mo Kelly show, I want to ask him about this, whether this was originally going to be slated for a film release, because seeing it in a theater, the sound design was very much it was clearly meant to be in a theater, and I don't know if that experience translates to streaming depending on your home setup. So if you have the big surround sound, turn it up and make sure that the bass is thumping. It is a very very good movie. It is gory, it's violent, but it's believable in the sense of yes, you have to nerf the Predator to a certain degree, but they took the Predator back some 300 years, so he's not coming with the plasma gun like he Arnold Schwarzenegger. So it's a little bit more fair in that regard, and what they do is a little bit it's believable. It's not ridiculous over the top. Highly recommend August 5th.
And he doesn't come to Earth in a flying alien vulva.
No
vulvas.
So that's a good thing.
No, it's more.
It sounds, Mo, like you're advocating for us to have a Knights of the Nerd-Roundtable watch party when this comes to streaming, so we can all sit there and have a shared experience watching it on streaming simultaneously.
I'm down with that.
Can we do that with Hulu?
I believe Hulu has party.
I think almost all of them had the party now.
Yeah.
Then
I believe so.
Let's.
I
I'm
gonna
look it up right now.
We should try to invest in doing let's come together for Black Panther.
Oh, we're
Wakanda Forever.
We're way ahead of you.
Oh yeah, Liz.
Yeah, there's Hulu. Hulu does have watch party.
I want to see it every day.
All I'm saying is
the whole weekend.
For some folks at Disney,
I want my outfit together.
Are you wearing white?
Oh, absolutely.
Gotta wear white.
Oh, we're all wearing white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta get my kids outfit.
Yeah. There's some things in the works that actually for you, our listeners as well, you may be able to take advantage of. Just I'm not saying.
Yeah, that amazing Black Panther podcast is still on YouTube, just in case you need to send that over to them. just saying.
Yeah,
just in case.
Okay,
just in case.
Tell us about the watch party. How do we do that?
So basically, what they say is that as long as you can watch it from Hulu.com or on an Apple device with Apple TV, or on Android and Echo Show and whatever, you can do it. And what you have to do is, hold on. It allows you Hulu subscribers to watch movies and shows together and connect from different devices. And so it also allows you to chat. And what we need to do is you have to log in and you create a link.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start the party. And so you send the link to the other people. And you have to, to do party, you have to watch on Hulu's website. It's an online only feature, so you can't do it through your supported devices. You got to be sitting at a computer.
Also, we can't watch it on our TV.
We can watch it on our TV.
Well, if your TV is connected to Hulu.com, it says you must use Hulu's website. So if you can watch the internet on your TV, it's fine. But you can't use it through Apple TV, is what I'm saying. It's not Hulu, the Hulu service as an app. It has to be on the website.
You know, the last time we did a watch party together, it was unofficial. We did it for the Mike Tyson fight. That was funny. That was fun times.
Yeah, we did it for something else. I think it was like the last episode of maybe WandaVision. I think we did a watch party.
Did we?
I think
don't remember that.
No, we didn't do that. No, I don't think so.
No. But we got this, so we definitely
there it is. Yeah,
we're definitely gonna do that.
So we're gonna do it because we got back from NABJ.
Oh, when is it? It's August 5th.
August 5th.
August 5th.
Well, we don't have to. I mean, you've already seen it.
Your hotel?
I still want to. Yeah, I can do that. That's what I'm saying. Just what time? So
yeah.
Hey, look.
So we'll set it. You let us know. You let us know when your NABJ stuff is done, and we'll set it for then.
No, I'll be on the road Saturday morning because I want to go back to Vegas.
I see. Yeah. Okay.
Where is it?
Well, then you're good.
It's Vegas.
Yeah, you're good. Because we'll be watching that on Friday. We can watch it early Friday. Shit. All right. Well, look. Hey. That's about it.
That's cool because there's nothing coming out.
Yep.
Nope.
And until the 10th, right? So for Groot, I am Groot.
It is set.
It's Groot and what's her name? She-Hulk comes out like a week later, right?
A week later, yep.
Right.
Because Groot is just
following
shorts.
that, you've got Andor.
I can't wait for She-Hulk. I think that that new trailer makes it Really.
Yeah, the CGI is a lot better. So
Yeah, and then if you watch all the little shorts that give you the behind the scenes,
Mm-hmm.
they explain how she got her powers and all. It's really building out to be a really some must watch television. I love the breaking of the fourth wall.
Oh, the fourth wall was big.
Mm-hmm.
Fourth wall was big in this thing. And it's the thing I loved about it is that she broke the wall and then she was like, "Oh, I'm breaking the wall." Hi.
Yeah,
that was great. I'm really excited. I didn't know what I would think about her, orphan black chick. I cannot pronounce her name.
Tatiana Maslany.
There you go, Mizrahi. So I wasn't sold on her, but seeing this last trailer, I'm all in.
Daredevil, the end, showing
Right.
Daredevil at the end.
Oh
everything
yeah,
to
I
me.
mean it's just
Everything. That's
well,
all I wanted.
and this is how, unlike the end of Peacemaker, where you had Superman in shadow and Aquaman who was actually there to say, and was it the Flash was the other one who actually said
Flash,
something,
yeah.
but Wonder Woman and Superman didn't say anything. This is how you do it. This is how you integrate the universe, and Marvel has always been better at this than DC on the film side. This is how you do it. This is how you launch 7 or 8 TV series that everybody is happy with.
Can I say that I am going to laugh my hardest when Aquaman 2 comes out, since y'all had this announcement?
Which announcement? Oh,
That
about Batman?
Oh, that Batman was going to be.
Y'all
in it.
thought
Yeah.
Snyderverse was done.
Well, but
but it's not the
Snyderverse is not.
Snyderverse.
It's Jim Lee said that after Aquaman and the Flash, there aren't any more Snyderverse movies.
Mhm.
So he didn't say that Aquaman wasn't. He admitted he understood that Aquaman was a part of the Snyderverse by dint of the fact that Jason Momoa is the Aquaman from the Snyderverse. But the vision of the Snyderverse, the deconstruction, and even Aquaman 1 was barely Snyderverse. It was more of a straight-ahead superhero movie than anything
And
Snyder had done.
And
So it's, listen, I don't know how they're going to fold Robert Pattinson into any broader thing. Again, Robert Pattinson is like in the Christian Bale. He's isolated. He's not a hero for that works with other people other than the Catwoman, I guess. So
look, that Robert Pattinson in that damn movie, which it took me maybe 4 weeks to finish watching the damn movie.
Just kept on fucking falling asleep.
No, but seriously,
it's
even
very dark.
at home, dude, even at home, that
I like the
film
movie,
is
so I don't
very
give a fuck.
positive.
yeah, I did too. I
That film is
enjoyed it.
very
I watched
positive.
it twice. I enjoyed it both times.
Robert Pattinson's unhealthy ass does not need to be any fucking Bruce Wayne.
Okay,
That
all I
fucker
have to
looks
say, Mo, you
emaciated
talk
and
about
sick.
throwing away friendships on the basis of people liking shows. Terminal List, my boy?
That
For
was-
real?
Yeah, for real.
No.
You're my friend now. Get him.
Terminal List is fucking dope. Tom, we get it. You hate
No,
Chris
no,
Pratt.
it's not even that.
It is
It is
literally
not.
that you
This
don't
is
like
a series. It took us 5 episodes to get everybody off the list. And we still got 3 episodes left. And I don't care. I mean, the cartoonish bad guy, before you were on, Mo, the cartoonish bad guy he ended up being a complete waste of space. Basically, his dude was like, okay, fanboy, time to nut up.
And that was the point of him. He wasn't about that life. He was
he wasn't, which was great.
Who thought he could handle, and when it came to him, he got done the worst.
Done up.
That fucker begging for his life got that. But I was like, yes.
No, that was cool. I just don't know. I don't know why it took 5 episodes for us to get there, and I don't know why I have to sit through 3 more.
It's actually a whole lot more story on the back end.
I mean, okay.
I mean,
Well,
like all
I mean,
that, and then even getting to that senator took a lot because she was taken out of the pocket, and he was dealing with being hunted at the time. Otherwise, he would have got to her a lot sooner.
Okay, I'm at the beginning of episode 6.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I haven't abandoned all hope, just most hope.
Oh,
Because now the man took a goddamn EKG patch and turned it into an impromptu bandage, and he's sitting in the rain like Arnold Schwarzenegger at the end of Predator. And I don't even know why
Navy
they
SEAL,
had
man.
those horrible practical effects on the rain when they went in to get Navajos or whatever the disemboweled dude is. It looks like they were dripping water in front of the door. What? No rain behind them. It was just like, what are you doing? I don't understand why Mo loves this fucking show so much.
Because it was dope. That series, the whole series is dope.
Chris
whole
Pratt
series-
could just go. He could have died in the first episode. I would have been fine.
See, there it is.
Watching
See,
Taylor Kitsch. I could have
there
watched
it is.
Taylor Kitsch.
No,
Taylor Kitsch
Tom,
is
you started
saving
the
this
wrong
for
foot.
me.
Tom, you started off disliking it because, and you even said so before
Hold on.
watching. You said,
I'm not disagreeing with you. I don't think Pratt is good. I just don't think he's good.
Well, can we say
It's
that
Tomorrow War without jokes.
You all are. We were so excited about two things that DC came out with.
Oh yeah, Black Adam. Yeah.
No, Black Adam looks incredible,
dope.
and so does Flash. Not Flash. Shazam looks really good. I mean, DC had two good showings. They have a couple of animated series that they're working on, but DC is a discombobulated machine. That's why all they had to show us was those two movies, and really they didn't want to show anything having to do with Aquaman because of the controversy surrounding Amber Heard. They didn't want anyone to get a look at that, to have her come on screen and have the fucking film booed. That is why they didn't show anything having to do with Aquaman, and they could not show anything having to do with the Flash. So that's why they only had two offerings, and that's why that's all they had to come there with. Everything else they discussed there had to do with comic books and video game properties like the Gotham Knights. But outside of that, they actually don't have anything else. They don't have any TV shows in the pipeline.
They have who?
Green Lantern. Beware My Power.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Beware My Power is fire.
Yeah. But Beware My Power came out like a couple months ago, like that.
No,
not about a month ago. It's already out there.
No, it just came out.
Just dropped.
But there's no point of promoting that at Comic-Con to talk about shit you got coming out in the future.
Well, I'm glad they didn't show Aquaman.
Doing stuff that's supposed to be hot.
Okay, I'm glad they didn't show Aquaman because that would have been a shitty decision.
Oh my God!
Give him his rim shot.
I mean, it's just unfortunate. It is unfortunate for DC that you have two movies, The Flash and Aquaman, that are surrounded with controversy to the point where you have too much money invested in this to just shelve it.
Yeah. Not a lot you can do, and look, they want to dig their heels in and say we're releasing these no matter what. Hey, sure, go for what you know, man. Go for what you know. Do you? Yeah. This is your money to spend. Do it. But
it's your world.
It made for a poor showing at Comic-Con. Again,
Shazam as well. I think they also showed that as well.
That's what I said. They just showed Shazam and Black Adam. That's why they only had two offerings to show. No television properties because the whole CW thing is out.
Yeah.
CW is being sold. They don't have any future television shows in the works. I mean, Harley Quinn, but that was a little too foul for them to bring up on the big screen at Hall H, because I just watched the first 3 episodes and they don't shy away from anything. There is a straight you have Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy watching a porno made about them in the show, and it's a raw porno. It is like, oh my God, what am I watching?
I will say this:
bring back the
first episode had me howling when the Joker was like, "You want to drink some piss?"
Yes.
I was fucking dead.
Look, this show is insane. So yeah, so it's a bad look for DC. They don't really have a good television outing. They just didn't have anything to show. The things they did show look really, really good. And bravo DC. I'm hoping that Black Adam is everything we expect it to be. I'm looking for sheer over the top rockness. And Shazam looks like a fun continuation of the first one. We shall see. To me, the choice of villains for Shazam, I'm like, yeah, okay, all right. Helen Mirren, that's great. It's great. Love Helen Mirren. um, in an action-packed, superhero film. We'll see.
I'll tell
Lucy
you one
Liu,
thing.
we'll see.
I'll tell you one thing I didn't like about the Shazam trailer. The scene where he's talking to the quote unquote doctor. Peter, that's just a straight rip off from Iron Man 3. Straight rip off. I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, it is.
I mean, trying to mimic the success of a better studio.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, to the extent, and my biggest problem with Shazam was the kid, because Zach Levi was fine as a kid in a grown-up's body. The actual kid was a reprobate. He was horrible. He had none of Billy Batson's kind of naivete and fun and youthful spirit and energy. Yeah. That was all Zach Levi understanding the assignment. That kid was a prick.
Yeah.
And so unless you're with Zach Levi being a grown-up kid the whole time, and then Megan Good's fine ass as a grown-up kid, that
I like the kid version of the little girl.
She was okay, but there was nothing to her because there was nothing to anybody in the film because the film was kind of nonsensical. And then you give Savannah, who's supposed to be a science genius, you basically turn him into Dark Shazam. And it was just, that's Black Adam's job.
That is.
Right. And so it was just very unsatisfying in almost every way, in which this movie appears to be much better.
Yeah.
So
if it's all Shazam in this,
and following on the heels of the Black Adam stuff, the Black Adam stuff looks amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I dare say I will enjoy Black Adam more than I enjoy Dark World or Iron Man 3. And I didn't know I was ever going to be able to say that.
No, I mean, really, even though I enjoyed Love and Thunder more than damn near every DC film, with the exception of maybe the Suicide Squad, Black Adam looks like it's going to be the best superhero film of this year. It looks like it will top every superhero film that's come out this year.
Spider-Man.
No. Spider-Man didn't come out this year. But your Black Panther comes out this year, bro.
Oh, well, okay. Yeah. No. Okay, before every film before Black Panther.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now that's possible.
I'm sorry.
I could see that.
Yes. Every film before it this year.
Right.
Yes. Make sure that's clear.
All right.
Anything else out there we're missing?
I would just say that I'm happy that Daredevil Born Again will be 18 episodes.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Fantastic.
That's a super amazing commitment.
I got to give props to Tuala. You got to see The Old Man on FX or Hulu. Jeff Bridges. John Lithgow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Highly recommend. Just watch the first episode. That's all.
Oh, it's a series.
Yes, it's a series.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's you will look at Jeff Bridges in a whole different way. I didn't know he had it in him at this late age.
Oh, okay.
I almost look at The Old Man. Someone was asking me, like, what is it like? I'm like, imagine if Jason Bourne got really old and finally was able to retire, but then they just drug his ass back out and wouldn't leave him alone. It's like it's
like John Wick.
Kind of. But
he's connected to the government.
Yeah, this guy is much more connected and official in nature.
Yeah. That's why I was like, maybe a little more
than just
an identity, but yeah. It's very, very good. It is, I mean, the writing, the acting in this, it is stellar.
It's an R series, so don't think because I said it's just a TV show. No. It is an R movie split up into some 7 episodes.
So is it better than The Terminalist?
I think so. I think so.
I would say so because it's a different type of storytelling. You get to there are some twists in here that you just can't see coming. It's like, oh wow, okay, yeah,
very, very dark, very dramatic. Yeah,
episode. If you're not locked in from the first episode, then don't watch the rest. But the first episode will set it off for you because you don't know what you're getting into. You have no idea the first 10 minutes, and all of a sudden, oh shit.
True that. Okay. True that. Anything else? No, shit. All right. Well, Anthony stepped out on us. So, Dr. Liz.
I have nothing.
All right then. Big Bang.
If she
everyone, it's
can't
Finn here.
have
Very excited to announce that
Killmonger.
Iron Fist has found a new home on Disney Plus.
You talked over it. I'm gonna play it again.
Play it
Hey
again.
everyone, it's Finn here. Very excited to announce that Iron Fist has found a new home on Disney Plus.
Oh, Jesus. All right. Mo.
I feel old because I saw this tweet the other day where Multipass is now 25 years old and had this shot of Mila Jovovich and her daughter
And her kid.
holding up the Multipass, and her kid looks just like her.
Oh, it's a clone.
Yes.
It's a
Yes.
fucking clone.
Which is
Holy
like-
shit.
Baseball, when you know the Fifth Element, it's like, yeah, it's a clone.
Yeah. Right?
The 25th anniversary of Multipass.
Multipass.
Tom.
Where's my Panther suit?
Mm.
Amen. Excelsior.